My grandmother had one rule about the river after dark. We broke it once, and by sunrise, one of us had come home different. I'm Nicole, and this is Haunted Threads After Dark, where I read you scary, creepy, paranormal stories. If that's your thing, then go ahead and turn the volume up, turn the lights down. But whatever you do, don't look behind you. This is a Haunted Threads After Dark original, so I hope you enjoy it. My grandmother had one rule about the river. If you heard someone call your name after dark, you didn't answer. It didn't matter who it sounded like. You kept walking. You didn't look toward the water, and you never brought anyone home with you. I grew up in a small town in the mountains of Puerto Rico. There was a river behind our neighborhood with an old concrete footbridge crossing it. Everyone used the bridge during the day because it was the fastest way into town. At night, my grandmother refused to go near it. Whenever my cousins and I left home, she gave us the same warning. If someone calls from under that bridge, don't answer. We thought she was trying to scare us away from the river. I stopped laughing about it when I was 16. My cousin Mateo and I had gone to a festival in town. We lost track of time, and by the time we left, it was after midnight, and the buses had stopped running. We could take the long road home, which would take almost an hour, or cross the bridge and be home in 20 minutes. Mateo wanted the shortcut. I remembered my grandmother's warning, but I was more worried about what my father would say when I got home. So we headed toward the river. It had rained earlier and the road was still wet. As we got closer to the bridge, the neighborhood became quiet. The bridge had a streetlight at each end. One was flickering. The other wasn't working at all. We stepped onto it. We were about halfway across when someone said Mateo's name. Mateo. The voice came from below us. Mateo stopped. I grabbed his arm. Keep walking. But the voice called again. This time, it used his full name. Mateo Rafael Santiago. Only his family called him Rafael. When the voice said, Mijo, come here, it sounded like his father. My uncle had died when Mateo was 9. Mateo turned toward the railing. Papa? I pulled him back. That isn't him. The light behind us went out. The bridge was completely dark. Something moved through the water below. It sounded like it was scraping against the rocks. We started walking faster. Then another voice came from under the bridge. My voice. Mateo, don't listen to her. He looked at me. The voice below laughed exactly the way I laugh. Then it said, she isn't your cousin. Mateo stepped away from me. It's lying, I said. Just keep moving. The voice repeated things I had said at the festival, things no one else should have heard. Each time I spoke, it copied me. I told Mateo we needed to run. The voice said, run, at the same time I did. We reached the end of the bridge. A young girl was standing in the road. She wore a wet, white dress. Her hair hung over her face, and water dripped from the clothes, even though it had stopped raining hours ago. Can you help me? She asked. She was using my voice. We tried to walk around her. She moved in front of Mateo. She didn't take a step. She was just simply there. Can you help me? She asked again. Mateo backed away. The girl lifted her head. There was no face beneath her hair. Her skin was smooth from her forehead to her chin. No eyes, no nose, and no mouth. Then his father's voice came from inside her. Why didn't you come when I called? Mateo answered before I could stop him. Papa? Every light in the neighborhood went out. Something grabbed him. His hand was ripped out of mine, and I heard his body slam into the bridge railing. I reached the darkness and found the back of his shirt. Something was pulling him toward the river. I pulled in the opposite direction. Mateo screamed. Other voices joined him. My father, my grandmother, people from our family who had been dead for years. Then whatever was holding him let go. We fell onto the road. One of the streetlights flickered back on. The girl was gone. We ran to my grandmother's house. She was waiting behind the screen door. When she saw us, she looked relieved. Then she looked at the ground. "Don't move," she said. I thought she was angry. Then I saw it. The porch light cast my shadow behind me. Mateo didn't have one. My grandmother made the sign of the cross. "What did you answer?" she asked him. Mateo began to cry. It sounded like my dad. My grandmother locked the screen door. She wouldn't let us inside. Mateo walked toward her. "Abuela, please." She stepped back. His crying stopped. His face went blank. Then he spoke in my grandmother's voice. "Open the door." I moved away from him. He turned toward me and smiled. It wasn't his smile. My grandmother told me to run to the side of the house. As soon as I moved, Mateo threw himself against the screen door. He hit it again and again while my grandmother prayed from inside. Whatever was outside answered every prayer in her voice. My father came running from next door. My grandmother warned him not to touch Mateo. For the rest of the night, we stayed inside. The thing circled the house, calling through the windows. Sometimes it used Mateo's voice. Sometimes it sounded like dead relatives. Once it used my voice and begged my father to come outside. But I was standing right beside him. The voices stopped just before sunrise. When we finally opened the door, Mateo was gone. There's only a puddle on the porch and a trail of wet footsteps leading toward the bridge. We found the real Mateo later that morning. He was 2 miles upstream, holding on to a fallen tree. He was barefoot and covered in mud. The last thing he remembered was answering his father. My grandmother finally told us the truth. When she was young, her brother had heard their mother calling from beneath the bridge. Their mother was asleep at home. He answered the voice. He came home, but he wasn't the same. He stopped sleeping. He covered every mirror in the house and whispered to someone beneath the floor whenever it rained. Then one night he disappeared. They found wet footprints leading from his bedroom to the river. My grandmother believed the river learned people. It learned their voices, their memories, and the names of the people they loved. Then it sent something home pretending to be them. Mateo survived, at least I think he did. He refuses to go near running water now, and sometimes when I'm talking to him on the phone, I hear another voice in the background. It repeats his words a second before he says them. I've never crossed that bridge again after dark, because sometimes when a familiar voice calls your name, it isn't asking you to come closer. It's checking to see whether it sounds enough like someone you trust. And there you go. There's the story. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you liked it in the comments. Let me know what you would have done also. Would you have taken the long way home, or would you have gone across the bridge? I would think that it'd be very tempting to go across that bridge, especially since there were lights on it. But after that story, I wouldn't. I think the grandma should have told the truth in the beginning, because that would have given a lot more context to what she was saying. So if you like this story, please go ahead and give me a heart, comment, bookmark if you want to watch it again, and go ahead and follow me here on Haunted Threads After Dark. If you have a story that you would like me to read here on the channel, then please go to hauntedthreadsafterdark.com. The link is in my bio, and you can submit your story there, or you can DM me, whatever you want to do, whatever's easiest for you. And I would love to give your voice a story. Or give your story a voice, actually. So anyway, I'm very tired. And until tomorrow when I bring you more nightmares, sleep tight if you can. Bye.